We're going to turn to our next session, Investing in Equality. And we have an outstanding panel to discuss the critical importance of inclusivity, activism and art. But before welcoming them to the stage, we're pleased to share Shaniqua Benjamin's poem, We. Shaniqua's work has ranged from writing the lyrics for the London Mozart Players' Anthem for Peace to specially commissioned poetry for the reopening of South London's biggest arts centre. She is also one of this year's Investing in Equality Scholarship. She won this year's Investing in Equality Scholarship, which was given to us by Leigh-Anne Pinnock. So she's one of those winners. So, for those of you who maybe don't know, but Leigh-Anne Pinnock is one of the members of the biggest selling female pop group in the world, Little Mix. So, this is one of her winners, and we're going to hear some of her recent work.
We're done with the apologies. Fighting for worth, our existence to stay relevant. This space is just as much ours as the cabinet doing the same thing it's always done. Always was. We take scraps expected to say thank you as our history and influence is faded like Cleopatra's skin. We're investing in our fountains, not holding back passion that was never aggressive. Watch us be. Without forcing egos in our nectar, milk and honey flows from our promised land, not for pleasure. We are not for sale.
We are more than the box braid fetish. We hear louder than our voices. We're on stages, radios, big screens, nowhere our culture won't touch.
Enough of trying to prove equality, whilst for equity to be a right across generations and centuries. Don't you know us? We're poets, activists, producers, singers. Your daughters, sisters, godmothers. Legacy of Iman, Harriet Tubman, Grace Jones. From billboards to boardrooms, you'll see us changing the game with a double hand we're dealt. Pivoting Queen of Spades into an ace. Don't try to cover us.
We'll win for the rest. This is bigger than 3. It's about levelling the board for all black girls, endlessly shuffled unseen.
Ready to say it again with us. We're done with the apologies, and with just as much to offer the world as bees. You won't make us extinct. Ready to say it again with us.
We're done with the apologies.
And with just as much to offer the world as bees.
You won't make us extinct. Ready to say it again with us.
We're done with the apologies. And with just as much to offer the world as bees. You won't make us extinct.
Fantastic work. Now, please welcome to introduce this session someone I talked about in the opening ceremony. She'd been asking us to get her kids to the summit, and we were able to do it here in Manchester. She's the CEO of AIM Sky High. She's a brilliant One Young World ambassador, Christina Taylor. And the AIM Sky High dance, as you saw at the opening ceremony, is a troupe founded by Christina. Every year since, as I said, she's asked, could she bring the kids from Manchester to the One Young World Summit? We weren't able to bring them to the summit before, but we brought them this year, and I think you'd all agree they did an amazing job. And she's been a key ambassador, not just in helping with the opening ceremony, but in making this whole summit in Manchester a possibility. So please give her a huge round of applause.
Hello, One Young World. My name is Christina Taylor, and I am the CEO of AIM Sky High. You saw our students perform at the One Young World opening ceremony, and I think they were amazing. I hope you enjoyed it too. And it's my pleasure to be moderating this session today. Let me begin by introducing the stage. Please welcome the 2 winners of the Black Fund's first One Young World Scholarship, Shaniqua Benjamin, Croydon Poet Laureate, founding director of Young People Insight CIC. And Ebinehita Iyere, founder of Milk Honey Bees and therapeutic youth practitioner. And please also welcome the co-founder and trustee of the Black Fund. You know her from the ultimate girl group, Little Mix, Leigh-Anne Pinnock. So Leigh-Anne, art is a powerful tool which combines creativity and expression. How does art intersect with activism? And from your own experience as a musical artist, how can art be leveraged for generating long-lasting, impactful social change?
So I will never forget my first writing session with Little Mix. We always knew we wanted to inspire people through our music. We had a very young following at the start, and we didn't want to call ourselves role models, but we always knew we wanted to speak to them through our music and inspire them. And yeah, that's something that I hope to continue in my solo career and in everything that I do going forward. Like, I have a voice, I have a platform, and I want to continue to use it. So.
And I think Leigh-Anne's doing it really well at the moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, in order to bring about a world of real equality, it all starts with community. Leigh-Anne, what initiatives has your foundation, the Black Fund, taken to support, foster, and empower the Black community across the UK in the pursuit of equality for all?
So I created the Black Fund in 2021. It's a charitable organisation which tackles racism and bridges the equality gap. But there was already so many amazing charities out there doing the work. So we just kind of wanted to be like a helping hand to them. The main initiative that we have is the Give Back grant. And last year we helped 11 charities and funded them with their projects. And this year we have applications that are open for the next grant, and it's focusing on mental health. So yeah, lots of things going on, it's growing and growing, and I'm just excited to see where it's going to go.
Sounds really exciting. So I guess this is a question to both of you, whoever would like to take it first.
Go first.
How would you define resilience, and what does it mean to each of you? And how has it applied to your work as activists?
So resilience is, my home of Croydon is the ultimate definition of resilience. All about coming back from adversity, being knocked down, coming back strong, coming back hard, coming back shaky, just coming back all of the time. And also being able to be vulnerable with that. Resilience doesn't always mean being rock hard all of the time. It just means coming back. And that's enabled me to keep on going through my platform when it was running, or through working as a poet, working with people when I want to give up. Just to keep on going, remembering what I'm doing. So I just keep on going. That is resilience, really.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Shaniqua in terms of vulnerability. I think that as a Black woman, I'm told that I have to be strong, and I'm told that I have to show up the way that society wants me to. I feel like resilience for me is about embracing the mistakes and the good, the bad, the ugly, and sometimes the difficulties and adversity that you're put in that's not actually your fault. And the way that I apply it to my work is through our ethos at Milk Honey Bees, which is healing, empowerment, and resilience, and knowing and embracing the resilience that you're given in and beyond your community.
Yeah. So I just wouldn't mind adding to that a little bit. So the work that you do, how do you help? So for anyone here that might need a little bit of help with how to become more resilient as a therapeutic practitioner, would you have any advice for them?
I think that the best advice that I can give is that play is not just for children. I think that as adults, we're told that we have to be strong or we can't show our emotions. And I think as a therapeutic youth practitioner, what I've learned the most is that showing your emotions is not something that's wrong, and it should be allowed in the workplace, in every environment. I think working with young people and seeing play in different kinds of ways is what makes Milk Honey Bees really special. I think allowing Black girls to show up and be the voice and have visibility in the way that they want is equally important. But I think as an older leader or a real model or role model to these girls, I think one of the best things I've done is give them the space and autonomy that they need to be seen and heard. And even though I'm the founder of Milk Honeybees, always being aware that I am 29 and I'm a young black woman, and these are black girls, so allowing them to take up space, giving them a seat at the table, and making sure that I always put them first the same way that I'm teaching them to put themselves first.
And Shanika, how do you feel that you can build resilience through the arts? You're a poet, so.
That's a good one. I think actually as an artist, you've got to be incredibly resilient. You get no's all the time, and rejection breaks my heart regularly. I try to firm it, but oh my goodness, it's so hard. So I think it's understanding that it's not always a no, maybe it's a not yet, or it's not right for you. And to, again, remembering why you're doing that thing. If you're just doing it for the money as an artist, sometimes you can get money, but often you're not going to get loads of money. And just remembering it's speaking from your heart, and knowing that sometimes it's just about you getting what you need to get out, rather than just thinking about, I want to be known, I want to be seen. So I think it's understanding all of that. And being able to talk to someone as well to build that resilience, because talking it through and having someone, before I got on here, I was like, I don't feel amazing today. And my great friend Ebby was like, you are amazing. And I was like, thank you, I needed that. Having people around you as well is important, because as an artist, it can also be very lonely.
Yeah, and I think also as an artist, we often use our art as a form of expression. So that anytime we're dealing with rejection, sometimes we can use our art as well to deal with that, I guess. So inclusivity plays a crucial role when working to bring about equality for all. What specific actions can every individual take in their own communities to foster safer, more inclusive spaces for young women of colour to thrive and achieve their ambitions?
Okay. I'd say, first of all, don't be tokenistic. I live in Croydon, which is an amazing, diverse melting pot in South London, but I can see how I'm used as a token often, and it really bothers me. So don't use people as tokens, because also we can see it, we get to know these things as well. So don't use people as tokens. Also, give us a chance to speak. Don't ask us to do something and then talk about us and then come to us afterwards, because it's frustrating. You have to keep talking all over again. And then you feel like you can't say anything because you don't want to cause problems, because there's already the stigma of being the aggressive, angry black woman, which is not a thing. So it's, making sure we're talking and listening to us and being willing to hear. I know that if we may get emotional, because we're human beings, so we can get emotional, we can get angry, we can cry, being okay with that and not just putting us down. And also understanding as well certain cultural things about us, if you can, and just, again, understanding. It's that simple. Just look at us as humans. Look at us as humans.
I definitely echo that, what Shanika said, but also remember that we are not a monolith. I think that sometimes when we talk about race, or we talk about women of color or black women, we categorize and are categorized under this term BAME, which I'm sure that every person does not like. And I think that recognizing that we are not a monolith is the first thing. Now, the question around fostering spaces, I get asked a lot, and I always give 3 pieces of advice, which the first one is listen to hear, not listen to respond. The second one is also understand the spaces that you want to foster. Are there existing platforms? Are there existing spaces that you can support and help? And then the third one, know your why. Are you doing it because you care, or are you doing it because it's a trend? And if it's a trend, don't do it. If you're doing it because you care, embrace every single emotion that you will feel in these spaces. Because do you know what? I've said this today, without the girls that I support, I wouldn't be the person I am, even down to the things that I'm wearing. They are the ones that styled me. I give them the voice and visibility that they deserve, because they deserve to be heard and seen. So I think for me, it's very important that even if you want to foster spaces, understand that sometimes you have to take a step back to be able to be let in.
And just for anyone in here, because One Young World is about you know, taking an initiative back after you've been here, thinking about how you can help to make things better. Some people in here might not actually know what a space looks like. We were having that discussion beforehand, and you were explaining how your girls find space and what a space is. So would you be okay to talk about that for us?
You know, there's a buzzword called safe spaces at the moment. I think it's a buzzword, just like a lot of things. But a safe space doesn't necessarily need to be a physical building. I think first safe space is finding safety within yourself. That's the first safe space that I talk to the girls that I support. But also occupying space wherever you can. We was talking about how a safe space for my girls might be talking about milk honeybees on the bus, or going outside to look at the trees. As far as they feel safe within themselves, we know that sometimes the world is not a safe place, but the biggest thing that I've taught the girls at Milk Honeybees, and they've reminded me about, is that when you occupy space wherever it may be, whether you've got a seat at the table or you've had to create your own table, safety is wherever you put it and however you see it. I think the biggest thing about safe spaces is also respect, and us being able to create our safe spaces, but also respecting other spaces. There's a lot as a black woman that I don't know, but I do know a lot of things. And I think the main thing that I've done with Milk Honeybees around space is allowing the girls to educate whilst educating them on other differences and other nuances that affect the world.
And Shanika, from an arts point of view, how do we create those spaces? Do they look different as an artist? Can they look different, or is it the same thing?
They can be different and they can be the same thing. I mean, as an artist, you have the beauty of facilitating spaces, of expressing yourself through art. So I facilitate a lot of workshops, and those are such amazing spaces to learn about people, to speak your truth. I remember, I think last month I did a workshop with Allergy UK and the young people of the Allergy group. And I gave them like 8 minutes to write a poem after a series of exercises, and what they came up with was amazing, but I was so emotional because I've really understood what it was like to live with an allergy. I've got a cousin who's got allergies to a lot of things, but I didn't properly realize what he went through until they expressed that in a poem. And I was just like to my cousin, I respect you and I feel you on a higher level. So art helps you to create those spaces and see things in a way that is so vivid and so different and so amazing. But also outside of art, I used it on a platform where I had monthly discussion groups and just being like, what do you want to talk about? Come and say what you want to say, without being a young person, without being spoken about, without being spoken over, and without being spoken just to. And it was amazing what you heard. So it's, I guess, and also being like comfortable grounding person in the space as well. If you come in and you're like overly hyped or just like a weird kind of presence, it makes it unsettling and people can feel that. If you come in there just calm, authentically you, people respond to that and they feel willing to respond. People shared stories that I never told before, and I'm like, I am honored because you shared that in a space with me who you don't know and people you don't know. And it was the most beautiful thing, and I'm like, I was part of that. And that's just the best thing in the world, I think.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm getting from that is, for you, you've managed to use arts for young people as a way into a space, so it feels a bit more directed. Yeah. Amazing. So this is for you all. What advice would you give to One Young World delegates who are working to bring about racial equality?
Why does everyone keep looking at me first? I'm going to let Leigh-Anne go first this time.
Oh, I am. I think the main thing for me is just don't let anyone silence you. Like, if you know you're doing a good thing, just go for it. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to use your voice. You were given a voice for a reason. So. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, Ebinehita has made sure I went next, so I will. I would say a key thing is, if you are black, I'd say don't be, or black, or of anyone who isn't white, don't be afraid at times to, one, say you don't want to talk about it, because you have to always relive your trauma. It's a lot. And don't feel like it's always your space to educate. Feel comfortable, talk about it. And if someone gets something wrong, not in a derogatory way, don't always get angry because they don't always understand. Be willing to have that conversation. If you are someone who is white, listen, as my friend here said, Ebinehita said, listen to understand and not just, listen to hear and not just to respond. Really listen. Also, educate yourselves if you can. There are so many books out there now. There are so many films. There's like, when you see us, I don't feel like that's fully made for black people. I watched a documentary about the Central Park 5. I'm not reliving that trauma. If you don't know about it, go and watch it. Watch those things, learn about those things. And again, a friend of mine said, a friend of mine who's white said he doesn't want to be an ally, he wants to be an accomplice to help us with those things. Not just like, I'm here as an ally. Help us achieve those things, work together, and don't just speak over us, speak with us, I would say. That's the key thing.
I think the first thing is about understanding intersectionality, because the intersection of race and gender with religion, with disability, with visibility is very important when talking about race, not just about people of color, but I think all races. So I would advise everybody to go and understand intersectionality, but also know your worth. I think that sometimes, like Shaniqua said, we're told that we always have to educate. I said it yesterday in the room that Google is free, and a lot of people were like startled by me, but it's free. You can literally Google anything, or if you use TikTok as your Google, you can do that too. But I think also the best advice that I was given is rest. Know that you don't always have to show up as people want you to be or who they want you to be. You can just show up as your authentic self and rest. I think what I've learned from One Young World since I've been here is that even the work that I'm doing, because I felt like I shouldn't be here, I've had to remind myself about my worth and about the girls and the community that I support. So I think the biggest advice is know who you are, and the world will know who you are so that the world will be able to understand who you are more.
Can I just say before? I just want to say thank you so much to One Young World. Thank you for putting me in touch with these incredible ladies. Please, can we just give it up for Ebinehita and Shaniqua, please? You are selfless, you're powerful, and you are just phenomenal. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you. Amazing.
Christina, could I say a couple of words? I just wanted to say a couple of words here to tell you that during really one of the darkest parts of the pandemic, where we were really struggling to see could One Young World actually keep going and what would happen when we couldn't hold an event, and we've talked about it before. And one of the people working with us came to me and said, do you know who Leigh-Anne Pinnock is? So, I'm a big fan. So I said, yeah, of course I do. Well, we were in touch with her, and she wants to help. She wants to set up a scholarship. She wants to help these young women. I was going, excuse me, a pop star wants to, and trust me, it's not common. This unique young woman who not only wanted to help these other amazingly eloquent, powerful women, this unique young woman who decided exactly how she was going to help, what she wanted to be called, designed all those fantastic T-shirts we had at One Young World last year, which just are absolutely amazing, sold out, helped us to fund other places for the summit, is you, Leigh-Anne. And there's a lot to be said for someone from your world, which is very exposed, very, very tough. You're utterly beautiful. You are a hell of an artist. And I think your personal solo career is going to be more than you ever dreamed. I want to tell you something. You never know, and you two young women are just, you're so eloquent. It's ridiculous. You are fantastic. But you know something? You never know what the circle can actually be. When we were at One Young World in Dublin in 2000, don't cry because I'm start crying. When we were at Dublin in 2014, you had a track that I was really, really very, very keen on. And I was badgering our managing director and say, so when we start the session, we have to play that track because I like that track and I want to have that track. And I want to have when that woman walks onto the stage, it was women, it was actually like yourselves, 4 of them. So I said, when they come up, we have to be playing that track. And I got so completely overexcited that we were playing this track, which is called Here Come the Girls. It's one of Leigh-Anne's tracks. So we played it in the conference center in Dublin, and there's Here Come the Girls! And down the aisles and onto the stage came 4 young women, 2 of whom of color, one a young mixed race woman called Meghan Markle. So it's a circle. But Leigh-Anne, thank you. Thank you for this selflessness. Thank you, Christina. Thank you to the 2 of you for teaching us. Please keep teaching us.
Yeah.
Please keep, I know you need to rest, couldn't agree more, but please, when you show up with us, eager to learn. One Young World, please give these 4 women this huge round of applause. Woo!
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was amazing.